Hello and welcome back. We're hanging out on the bridge. And I'm considering talking to Heinrichs here. I just throw down a hard save. I have had enough of Marajai's stunts. It is time to hand him over to the Inquisition.
By this declaration, if I understand correctly, you are stripping the Xenos of your protection as a rogue trader and delegating the fate of this enemy of humanity to the Holy Inquisition.
Correct.
Thank you for your cooperation, Lord Captain. I will personally rid the universe of this carrion, just as soon as I have conducted a highly prejudicial and wide-ranging interrogation.
And then I want to see. And he's just gone. Am I happy with that? I think I was hoping for, I don't know, more of like a cutscene thing. You know what? Let's load this up. I might go back and change my mind. Do I wanna? Man, I don't know what the fuck to do about this fucking Deldor man. Maybe I'll just leave him standing with no equipment on the bridge. He can hang out. Oh, is this where my save was? Wait, shit.
Rogue trade. Then go.
I thought I guess I didn't. Okay, fine. Cool. Let's run around. How about we start at the tippity top and we work our way down. Start with Pascal. Nothing new. Jai?
You are spoiling me with the splendor of your presence again, Shireen. Have you decided to treat your soul to the fruits of my eloquence? Or do you wish to discuss business with the newly appointed owner of a Mercatum Tabula? Oh.
Okay. Good. I don't imagine there's anything new for Dira. Well, have you discovered anything more about the door from your visions?
No, Lord Captain, not a thing. And I'm wandering from bay to bay, scaring the crew. But don't worry, I'm sure that as soon as we get close, well, there'll be no mistaking it. Of course.
Huh, a navigator? Who are you? I don't know. Hopefully Earlet has something interesting to say. Why are you standing here again? This is not where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be standing right between these...
The Dark City released us from its thorny embrace. The wounds of the body will heal. But what about the wounds of the soul? Cruderach fell, and its demise shattered the fragile lives of countless children of Osirian. Scattered across this part of the galaxy, hounded by the monkey, pursued by the dark cousins, imprisoned by the servants of she who thirsts. Hatred is strangling me like a snake, and fear is coursing through my body like a burning poison. For the path I chose is leading me down the roads of failure. I can neither hold back my grief, nor rein in my anger. And yet, I am powerless to stray from my path. Pay no heed to my fleeting wrath, Anantark. When the will slips away, the soul trembles with rampant emotions. but I will resign my heart to meekness. For there is no other way a marked outcast can help their fellow Eldari wandering in the dark.
I kind of like when you show a bit of emotion. Not to insult you, but it makes you feel a lot more human. Many terrible things happened in Komora. Komora, fuck! I keep forgetting how to say it. Are you alright?
I found myself in the Dark City after following the twisted roads of truth and lies. And although the truth blossomed like an ugly bud and scratched my soul with its thorns, I did find the answers to my questions. Those who come back from the dark of the webway will never be the same. But it is we who change while the surrounding world remains imminent. This thought gives me strength.
Kruderak suffered an unenviable fate. I am sorry your world is lost.
I have no need for your sympathy, Alantark. Besides, neither Monkey nor my dark kin found the decaying remnants of Kruderak. Perhaps all is not lost. Perhaps we may yet bring back what has been taken.
I don't know about that. Her gaze dimly wanders the bridge, but the corners of her lips twitch traitorously upward and her features soften. Ah, okay. So where does the path of the outcast lead you now?
On the trail of a monkey called Caligos Winterscale.
Yeah.
Even a worm may harm a wounded tiger by bringing infection into an open wound. And the wounds of my people have been bleeding ever since Kruderak's demise. The spirits of my kin need a poultice, a hope, not the executioner's sword already poised to fall.
What will happen to the seer now?
Clendil chose to stay on the Lilithon together with Muaran and the rest of our kinsmen. Perhaps it is for the best. The stars in this part of the galaxy are hostile to the children of Asurian.
I'd like to ask some other questions.
You may try.
Will you tell me about your kin in your homeworld now?
I refuse to discuss this with a monkey. We are but traveling companions who happen to be following the same road among the stars.
Fucking, I thought she'd be more open to it now. Oh well.
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Heinrichs we've talked to. Ooh. Let's save him for last. Argent, are you mad at me for not fucking executing earlier?
Greetings.
Are you ready to tell me more about yourself now?
If such is the rogue trader's wish, although there isn't much I can tell, I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to know?
Have I not asked these questions? Where do you hail from?
Now that I can tell you, I come from everywhere and nowhere. I am the child of officers of the Imperial Guard. I was born in the hold of a warship. Grew up following my parents' deployments from one planet to another, and lost my family in the flames of a righteous war. My memory is like wafts of smoke over a still battlefield. The grey of a ship's plating. The strict cadence of life in military camps. My mother's uniform. I loved looking at it. Then, that battle. The rumbling, the shouting, and the soot. The screams of soldiers burning alive. And the gold of the regiment's Aquila. Untouched by soot or blood. The last unsullied piece of a world that was going mad. That was my last memory of my mother. and of my former life.
Ah.
Before the Scoloprogenium
Yep.
and the novitiate. Before my trials. Before the vows.
A division of the ecclesiarchy responsible for the upbringing, education, and training of orphans of those officers and nobles who have died in the service of the Imperium. They're responsible for a lot of things, not only Sisters of Battle, but also commissars, sometimes inquisitors, assassins. That golden shard you carry with you.
My own relic. It's the regiment's Aquila. Or rather, the fragment that survived the attack, the explosions, and the fire. For me, it's a reminder that purity and radiance can be preserved, even in the heart of darkness.
So how did you become one of the Adepta Sororitas?
Become. It's such a strange word for it. It seems right, but is that how one talks about their destiny? If you're asking about the path itself, that's easy enough to answer. First, like many other orphans, I endured the Scoloprogenium. Those years were rough, but I remember the hardship fondly. Few things can compare with the feeling of satisfaction from a past trial, even if it leaves your body aching from exhaustion, or your soul wincing in pain. I was one of the best among my peers, and I was selected for the novitiate in the ranks of the Adepta Sororitas. When the hour came, I passed the trials and took my vows. The most joyous day of my life. The Emperor's light has always been with me, but to accept it with all your heart, to utter the oaths, that is a rapture like no other.
Just curious, have you ever wished for a different lot in life?
Have I ever? But that would be shameful weakness, almost heresy. Of course not. I was born for this. I live by the Emperor's will, and in his light, I myself am the light. I must be the light. For myself, and for those who ask for my protection. I was chosen to serve. But beyond that, I won't deny it. Few things elate me as much as the thought that the heretic felled by my shot will never again orphan a child.
Alright. Fair enough.
It is my pleasure to be candid.
I would like to discuss Sal's Prime and the relic that you want to find.
Of course, my mission is all I can think about.
Tell me about Saint Argenta, whose relic you're searching for.
Gladly. Listen. Long ago, there was a blessed world. Thousands of stars covered the sky there, so bright that its denizens hardly knew the darkness of night. Thousands of rivers nurtured the soil. Thousands of gardens bloomed every spring, and at every moment, thousands of prayers were flying into the clear air, thanking and praising the Emperor. But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had sold themselves to the archenemy descended upon the planet. Shells flew from the sky that desolated whole cities and burned the gardens and filled the riverbeds with the blood of the faithful. Smoke and soot swallowed the skies and the 1,000 stars that had once shone over the world. Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die, and the garden she'd grown up in burn to ash. But in her heart, she knew the absolute truth. Just these 3 words. The Emperor protects. And knowing that, she never looked away from the black, terrifying, smoke-covered sky. There were no more bright stars to be seen. Except for one. The one star. The bright star. The silver star shone in the sky. And when the orphan smiled at it, the one star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the continent who saw the trail of the falling star recognized it as an omen and went looking for the place where it landed. And they rallied together. And with the light of the one star, they found their salvation.
The girl from the story, that was Saint Argento?
Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography. It is known that she lived on a world where heretics staged a terrible insurrection. They wiped out all life on the planet, except those whom Saint Argenta managed to save with the one star, and with the strength of her faith. After that, she traveled between worlds, gripped by turmoil on her ship marked with a silver star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm this. Her coming helped people turn the tide of the war and wipe away corruption before the Imperium's main forces even arrived. Millions of people owed their lives to her, but the heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the Silver Star. It fell from the skies onto an obscure world. There are no definitive records of how old Argenta was at the time. In some chronicles, she's even called the Child Saint, but their credibility is questionable. Either way, she didn't live long, but she left a bright trail in her wake, like a falling star.
So what is this one star?
If I only knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics, but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a girl carrying this banner. Others think that upon falling from the sky, the one star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests that this armor was, in fact, the relic. Some even think that the one star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled.
Don't know about that if it crashed to the planet.
I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the Ecclesiarchy for millennia. I pray we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be aligned against us. They stand in the way of faith.
Yeah, no more questions.
We will reach Salus Prime and stand before the gates of Saint Argenta's ship. I know it. I believe.
Thank you for this conversation. Until next time. Cassia's turn.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without...
Should we...
As the only voice of our family on this vessel, it is an honor. As long as your questions are courteous, I will answer every one of them.
Is the Auxiliary prophecy system named after your ancestor?
You are shrewd indeed. My ancestor charted that route while fleeing the enemies of humanity. They say the Emperor himself was his guide, because the warp expelled their vessel without a single loss. Unfortunately, the lips of those who relate this tale seep with disgusting green hubris. I think Colleen Orselio was simply a skilled navigator.
Fair enough. Take it House Orselio has a rich history.
Oh, yes. The navigators of the house came to the Coronis Expanse fairly recently, a mere 208 years ago. Before that, our ancestors expanded the borders of humankind's dominion for the glory of the Emperor, blazing trails to different corners of the galaxy.
Okay.
By all means, I have enjoyed your...
Okay, there's no space, no actual spaces under. Still, fucking servitors T-posing on the bridge. That's fine. I'm gonna blame Nomos for that. Now, Ulfar's turn.
Broke free! eternally disgracing. Flows now this saga in the hall of glorious feasting, where all extol the wolf mighty, and the yet fatter cunning. I hope you're not going to put off the feast. Our escape demands a grand celebration.
Man, can you imagine fucking immediately kicking the Space Marine off your team after fucking 100 hours to get him? What are you planning on to do with your newly acquired freedom?
Find my pack. As we speak, they are likely performing some bloody service for Calcazar. For that reason, I want to have a word with the Inquisitor.
I must take my leave.
Fenris Yolda.
Fenris Yolda. Okay, I think we've actually fucking Dan Rock. News about the Protectorate. Discover the world where... I'm gonna speed read. Colony found a century ago. Ship was sent there carrying several thousand colonists. The ship has entered a system of destination. Collectible lost. Fate remains unknown. Perhaps you might like to investigate the disappearance of that vessel personally. Besides, pirates have been a serious problem for your domain. Century is a group of bandits headed by a ship called the Elusive Contempt. Ability to definitely escape pursuit. Okay, the Elusive Contempt. Your ship is sufficiently powerful to finally chase down those brazen scoundrels. Despite the choir received a series of alarming measures from Normer 4. Dangerous space anomaly has supposedly manifested some. Ship entering region disappears without trace. Ooh. There's something else. The ship's astropaths have caught echoes of alarming messages. Unidentified ships abandoned by the crew have been spotted in several systems in the expanse. It may only be a rumor, but those who encountered them have gone missing without trace. That is all. Thank you. Man, finally we get to look at the goddamn star map again. Let's actually go to journal. What the fuck? We have so many things we could be doing right now. Quest failed, quest failed, quest failed. That's good that it failed because I didn't want to do it. That is what it is. Oh, new stuff. Provisions for Prometheum. I don't have that many provisions. Plasteel for people. I'll take that. Phlogiston. 3 profit factor. Not right now. I'll keep it in mind. Ooh, adamantine for mechanisms. I have plenty of both. Xenotech for weapons. Nah. Chemicals for plasteel. I'd do it if it was the other way around. Weapons for provisions. Yeah, okay. Now, actually, let me look at my void ship. Because, first of all, we got some new stuff. 90%. That is considerably better. We got... what do we got on the prow? We got these things on the prow. 4... That's not better. Lance weapon. 45 to 55. Narrow... Nope, this is worse. 4 shots, 14 damage per shot. On the prow? Nah, 3 shots, 33 damage per shot. Yeah, we got plenty of those. Nah. I don't know, I don't think we... Macro cannons, 4 shots. That seems like an improvement. Short range though. We're talking about a potential 99 versus a potential 108. But at short range, I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. This is very expensive. I'm gonna hold on to my stuff. Few can match the glory of the Space Wolf. Blah, blah, blah. Riding with Saga. Yep. Okay. Now where do we go? We have a lot of options. Quetzaltemur. Actually, where are we? I should have thought for a second. Ah, right, Janus. Of course, that's where we are. Surely we had some stuff to do on Footfall as well. That's also new. What's my journal like? What do we got? Huh. Apparently the boots are still an option. Okay. Ftonfor is where Heinrichs wants us to go. We want to go to Footfall. She has no idea where that is. That's gonna be on Mundus Valancius. And I fucked that up apparently. I looked, I couldn't find anything, so Verdant. We have to find it on our own. Very well. What was this? Quetzaltemur? Is that a rumor or a... Oh, there's so much stuff, dude. I don't know if I think this, I don't know if I think this, journal system is the best it could possibly be. I don't want to give people... Don't want to sell people for money. A little bit. I'm thinking... We pop over here real quick, then we go Mundus Valancius, then we start moving... Well, north. If you can say that. Oh, Captain, there is an emergency at the officer's deck. Numerous victims, loss of communication. The voicemen report war voices filling the compartments. But this is not a war breach. This is the Xenos you took aboard at Janus. He has gone mad and went on a rampage. Marashai? I have two fairly reliable witness accounts. According to one, the Xenos suddenly assaulted the crew members, cutting them seemingly at random. The other claims there are survivors who barricaded themselves. The enforcers managed to isolate the raving Xenos in a dead end, but they have been unable to pacify him so far. What will your orders be? I'm just gonna... Why am I not surprised? I cannot bring back your subjects, but I will gladly aid you in disposing of the rabid creature. I know what the reason. Please, I must accompany you. I will help you deal with the Dark One. I'm going to the officer's deck immediately. A squad of enforcers who had blocked the Xenos in the dead-end corridor is awaiting the deck. At the deck. I beg of you, be careful, Lord Captain, and may the God Emperor watch over you. Maybe I'll actually let Heinrichs have him. I might have to go back to an earlier save. Oh boy. What the fuck is this? Echoes. Body's covered in hundreds of cuts.
Let us not dawdle. None are better at searching.
Okay. Demonet. Lord Captain, the God Emperor with you, and with all of us too. Only you can deal with this spawn. Permission to report, your ladyship. It started a few watchers after the translation. Well, actually, they say this. Associate of yours had been acting strangely even before that. It's as if he started hearing things. He was swiveling back and forth, barking something in his Xenos tongue. Then he grabbed his blade and sliced his hand open. His own hand. Then he suddenly howled and lunged at the people nearby. The voice of Shio thirsts. Ulit turns pale. He heard the call. Any of our kind who find themselves beyond the veil become tempting prey for Salanthresh. Your technology that protects the ship from her baleful influence cannot drown out the sound of her maddening voice. Can anyone else see this demonette over here? You see her. See who, your ladyship? Where is Marashai now? Who? Oh, the Xenos. He nods. He corralled a number of crewmen in there like roxes to a slaughterhouse. All we could hear were screams. Well, we couldn't save them, so we locked him in there so he couldn't crawl back out, unless he finds a crack to squeeze through. Who are the victims? Anyone. Officers, serfs, technomat, even attacked a servitor, although that didn't last long. He just tore its head off. The rest of them, though, the Xenos come torture the life out of them. Heard enough, I'm heading inside. We'll unblock it right quick, your ladyship. If only there was a way to flush that fiend out without going in. He stops and pales even more. Throne's mercy, I completely forgot. The late technomat, he turned on some security systems before he bled out. Figured that if the Xenos thinks about showing his face, those systems will get him. The point is, we should go with your ladyship, with your permission. It just wouldn't be right for the Lord Captain to go in there alone. God Emperor, help us all. The officer tries his best to speak calmly, but his voice is quivering. The thought of going inside the compartment that has become a death trap fills him with dread bordering on panic.
Keep your wits about you.
The ruler of those. Come closer, let me get a good look at you. I can hear the beating of his heart, the roaring blood in his veins, the pulsating fear in his black soul. Good.
For my sharp senses.
I always keep my options open.
Huh. Advanced medkit. And what is this? +5 Medicaid. Huh.
I'm restless.
I know.
What deeds await us?
Time comes for me to step into this world, it will be waiting for me.
Cast your eye there.
Oh fuck.
Right there. Nothing escapes my sight. I better myself through my service.
Can I...
Pay attention.
Can you fucking not step on the thing?
The Emperor favors me today. Duty prevails.
We
I better
go
myself through my service.
grab this stuff. Why do we have just cargo sitting around? How do I, there we go.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
No, you're not.
Duty prevails.
Come because the prince wills it. The souls of all his progenitors belong to him alone. None will escape his embrace.
Keep a sharp eye.
That's interesting. Referring to Slaanesh as the prince and saying him. Which is not incorrect, it's just a bit unusual. Marashai jerks his head up when you appear. His already gaunt face is tightly wrapped in pale grey, parchment-like skin, his teeth are bared feverishly, and his dark eyes have turned into two pitch-black mirrors that could show your reflection clearly if you were to gaze into them. He opens his mouth, but instead of words, an unnatural rasping hiss comes out. If this creature ever possessed intelligence, there is no sign of it left. Artisan of pain. At last, the resonant voice that has followed you on your journey through the decks sounds like it is coming from every direction, chilling you to the bone. At last we meet, my poor child. Look at him, mortal. Look at how he yearns to return to the one whose caress his kind rejects so stubbornly. Come, child, follow my voice, and my prince will grant you all the bliss and torment in this universe. Irlit exclaims something in the Eldari tongue. The elucidator fails to process her rapid and elaborate speech. Without waiting for Marashai's response, she turns to you. My dark kin has lost himself in the fight against the pull of Shio thirsts. Allow me, Elantak. However great our differences are, however dissolute and depraved the dark ways may be, I cannot blind my eyes and let Silantresh take him. The warp spawn laughs musically. Sooner or later, all of his kind will step into my embrace. The prince is patient. The prince knows that every Eldari soul is already his. The demonet's voice suddenly forces itself inside your mind. But if you let me get close to the lost child, if you lull him into letting his guard down, my prince will reward you, Jane. The soul of this pathetic Xenos is a small price to pay for the blessings that come with my master's favor. I will try to bring him to his senses. Shikari stares at you without blinking. Teeth still bared, his friend's expression frozen like a mask. You hear hissing again, and this time lower and angrier than before. I'm gonna look closely at him. Marashai, half crouched, is teetering slightly, and that is the only movement you can see. His body language shows that he's ready to attack, as do the blood-stained blades he's holding. Marashai, can you hear me? Let's talk. Your confident voice reverberates through the metal room. Yukari blinks, then blinks again. The mirror-like surfaces of his eyes seem to ripple, as if something else is beginning to surface apart from the soulless reflection. Something vaguely resembling awareness. How many disjunctions did you survive in Komora, Marashai? The warp is powerless as long as you refuse to let it take hold of you. Master yourself. Your words appear to have reached Marashai's mind. He shakes his head and closes his eyes, then you watch him take a deep breath and relax his shoulders ever so slightly. The laughing in your head turns feral. Why are you refusing and why are you confusing and tricking the lost child? The end is decided. The end is inevitable. What about all that talk? Can I look at him again? Xenos is standing tall and looking at you with faint traces of intelligence in his eyes, which are still hazy. It looks like one last push is required for him kind of want to go for this, but I kind of want to give Iliad a chance too. I want to know what she would say. Iliad? Iliad starts talking, too quickly for the elucidator, but not for Marashai. He turns his head and watches her like a snake watches a bird. Iliad takes a step, then another. You hear new inflections in her voice, melodious, almost calming. Her hands are moving in an elaborate dance of gestures as she keeps touching the spirit stone on her chest. Slowly, very slowly, Iliad advances towards Marashai and his bristling blades, and he remains still, seemingly entranced by her words. You carefully follow her. The air behind Marashai ripples, and you watch as the demonet's faintly visible silhouette bleeds out of thin air. The horrible mouth is sneering triumphantly. The large pincer is rising higher and higher. Marashai, behind you! The demonet brings her pincer down on Marashai's head and clangs against his raised blade. Marashai crouches and shoves the shrieking spawn entity away from himself. No, you're mine, Marashai, you're mine! Kill the demons. Yes, weapons again.
Mercy, but I will grant none.
Oh, dang. I think we're gonna have this fight next time. I think I'm gonna live with my decision. I am curious if this would have happened if Heinrichs had taken Marashai. Oh well, we'll be back on the next one, and hopefully we won't fucking eat shit as we try to fight these demonettes. See you later. Oh shit, these guys have been turned. That's a problem. See you later. We'll deal with our problems next time.